I'm a bit of a sucker these days. I already had Elden Ring on my Xbox Series S, but I wanted to play it at a higher frame rate. I also wanted to play Elden Ring both in what I could only describe as an active tornado, and on this baby. That's honestly the main reason why it's been a while between videos. Instead of writing about games, I catch myself playing them. Crazy, I know. Call it research though, because while I've been having tummy time on my bed playing through Elden Ring, I've come to a moderately safe conclusion. Call it a lukewarm take, if you will. The lands between must smell terrible. Limgrave, Caelid, the Academy, they all probably got some stank to them. And I'm not even talking about that good stank that your boyfriend gets after not showering for a couple days. Hello, this is Privatelyattack editing this video. That was a really gross joke, and I apologize. I think I wrote that at about 3 in the morning. I'm talking rancid milk, cat litter that hasn't been scooped up in a couple days. Now, Elden Ring isn't the first stanky video game. Don't let Harvest Moon's cozy clean aesthetic fool you. That is a farm, and those cows do be farting. In my quest for the stankiest video game, I remembered a game that I played a year prior, Baroque. Developed by Sting Entertainment for the Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation, this 1998 roguelike dungeon crawler has got the stink. The stink of good game design, that is. I mean, need I say more? It took me a while to really digest this game because, well, I was a little grossed out by it. There's no shame in that. I can do well with gore, but there was just something off-putting about it. The story leaves a lot to the imagination. The sound design is industrial and unsettling, almost reminding me of Trent Reznor's work on Quake. Its visuals are where things get the most uncomfortable, and I'm not even talking about the game's creatures. 32-bit games have always had this strange effect on me. Maybe it's the 3D controls, maybe it's the dithering in the environment, but the PS1 especially just scared me. You know how people are sometimes unsettled by the THX logo sound? That was me as a kid with the PS1 startup screen. There's just something so alien to it all. It didn't help that 5-year-old me would associate the PS1 with Resident Evil 2, but even as an adult I still get chills when I play something as safe as Ape Escape. Now I did say that it was 32-bit games, not just the PS1 that left me feeling creeped out. And I only know this because when playing the Sega Saturn last year, I felt that same tension, the same fear of the unknown when the console's BIOS booted up. Only this time that little sparkly note at the end made me think, oh, it's Sega. Anyways, back to Baroque. Playing this game was easily the most cohesive part of the experience. It's a no-nonsense RPG at first glance. Once you get the hang of it, the game starts throwing curveballs. I'm not going to delve too deep into the mechanics because a core component of the Privatelyattack series is that I want you to actually seek these games out and play them. Oh, but Baroque for PS1 is $50 and also not in English, which is the main language of your target demographic according to YouTube's analytics data, you might say. You fool. Thanks to the expert work by Twitter user @Pliskin___, you can play the original Baroque in English. There's even an English translation of the Saturn port if you're into that sort of thing. Which you are, according to my YouTube analytics data. Now let me be frank real quick. When I say original, that does mean that yes, there is a remake for the PS2 and Nintendo Wii. That's the only real reason I knew about Baroque. It was a game published by Atlas and it had an anime guy in the cover. What more could 15-year-old me want? Now did I play the game? No. Hi, do you like video games? Do you like introspective essays that make no sense? Did you know that I've been writing those since 2019? Check out privatelyattack.medium.com for more ramblings and half-baked theories that I call essays. I talk about Shin Megami Tensei, Dragon Quest, Resident Evil Survivor, Quake, Resident Evil 2, Revelations, Persona, Resident Evil Gaiden, and my dead dad. Privatelyattack.medium.com. You'll enjoy it. Probably. Baroque did not start out as a fun experience. I chose Baroque as one of my topics for this season, and I almost shelved the idea completely. I played half an hour in 2022 and thought to myself, hey, this is pretty good, I think, so I added it to the list. I played it again in 2023 and thought, oh no, I don't like this. But I kept playing. I kept getting blood farted at me. I ate spoiled meat and got food poisoning, both in the game and in real life. I wasn't having a good time. Until I started having a good time. The just give it 5 hours person is probably the most reviled type of person in the game's discussion sphere, but I gotta hand it to them. They were right. Reggie Fils-Aimé once said, if it's not fun, then why bother? But he was wrong. Sometimes you just have to give it time and let it click. Is it your brain tricking you into enjoying something? Who knows? All I know is that I didn't like Baroque for the first 3 or so sessions. And then something just sparked. Video games are art, and art doesn't have to make you smile. Sometimes you just don't get it, and that's okay. It doesn't even have to be enjoyable to you, but it's still art. One of my favorite performers is a man named Ryosuke Kiyasu. He plays the drums, or rather, drum. People enjoy his art, but if you look at the comments, there's always people making fun of him. They don't get it, and that's fine. But to make fun of art, or to not call it art at all, is just weird to me. Every so often there's one comment that says something along the lines of, I enjoy this unironically. Hey bud, you don't enjoy art unironically, you just enjoy art. That's me with nu metal. That's me with Hideaki Anno's Cutie Honey. That's me with Baroque. I don't enjoy the game as a bit. I enjoy it because I took the time to try and enjoy it. And that time proved to be fruitful. It just took a little longer than usual. People took time and money to make their art, and to dismiss it as bad after a quick look is nothing short of dangerous to the craft, and to the industry as a whole. Next time you play a game that you might like, but it isn't doing it for you right at the start, just give it 5 hours. I remember when Ico came out. I would read magazines about how Ueda and Sony's Japan studio had created art. Since I was literally 8 years old, I didn't think much of it. I didn't know much about games aside from the fact that the Nintendo ones were cool. In 2005, when Shadow of the Colossus comes out, I read in magazines and online about how Ueda and Sony's Japan studio had created art. Again. I was now 12, and the only thing going through my brain at the time was,
oh shit, I think I'm gay.
And the hit song Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. I got made fun of in middle school for liking Gorillaz, and now they're making songs with Bad Bunny and Thundercat. Who's laughing now? By 2016, I had already become a jaded anti-Gamergate SJW who couldn't be bothered to read anything profound about video games, let alone The Last Guardian. I think I watched a YouTuber make fun of the AI and just let that be my opinion for the next 7 years. But going back to the reviews, people all over the internet were saying that Fumito Ueda, Japan Studio, and Gin Design have created art, yet again. And they're right. These games rule. They're fantastic examples of the medium as an artistic endeavor. It's just, you can't have your Ico and Shadow of the Colossus while games like Baroque sit in a box somewhere. There's always going to be a place at the table for games like The Witness and What Remains of Edith Finch. That's a fact. But you need to set out the good china for Splatterhouse and Simple 2000 Series Volume 50, The Daibujin. I've talked about this before briefly in my video on work sims, but a good amount of Japanese developers get shit on for making weird or downright bad games. In 2012, Fez developer Phil Fish said to a Japanese developer's face that modern video games, quote, just suck. He's since apologized, but the damage has already been done.